This is the AEW Double or Nothing 2025 full show results video, which takes place at Diamond Desert Arena in Glendale, Arizona. The show started with a match between Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay and Harley Cameron, and the result of this match was Anna Jay and Harley Cameron won the match by pinfall when Megan Bayne sends Anna Jay crashing into the barricade on the outside as Cameron hits the finishing move on Penelope Ford for the win. Then we saw an 8-man tag team match between Don Callis family's RPG Vice and Crew versus ROH World Champion Bandito, Airfox, and Los Titanes Del Air, and the result of this match was Bandito, Airfox, and Los Titanes Del Air won the match by pinfall when Bandito hits a rolling German suplex on Andretti off of Hologram and Commander's spines for the win. Then we saw an Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament Finals match between TBS champion Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter. We see Mercedes sends Hayter into the corner and sends her crashing with the slam, then cinches in a crossface on her. Mercedes then responds with a backstabber on Hayter, then flies off the middle rope to land on Hayter and hits a couple of double knees on her spine. Hayter then hits a back suplex on Mercedes, but Mercedes hits a right hand on Hayter's spine and follows it up with the Three Amigos. Mercedes then steps over Hayter, but Hayter delivers some right and left hands on Mercedes and follows it up with a superplex off the middle rope. Mercedes then hits a backstabber on Hayter and nails Hayter with a kick on her head, then Hayter sends Mercedes crashing into the barricade on the outside and hits her with a splash off the ring steps, then sends her back in the ring and hits a spear on her through the middle rope. Mercedes hits a Meteora on Hayter's spine, then transitions into the Statement Maker. In the end, when Jamie Hayter back on her feet, looking for Hayter to put Mercedes away, but Mercedes traps her with a DDT into a cradle to pick up, and won the match by pinfall. Mercedes won the 2025 Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament, and now she will face the winner of Toni Storm vs Mina Shirakawa at AEW All In for the AEW Women's World Championship. The next match happened between FTR vs Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness, and the result of this match was FTR defeated Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness when Cash Wheeler hits a Tope Suicida to land on Menard and Harwood cinches in a sharpshooter on Garcia and Garcia passes out, and FTR wins. Then we saw a stretcher match between Ricochet versus Mark Brisco. In the end, we see Brisco wrestles the scissors from Ricochet, but Ricochet jams the scissors into Brisco's head and low blows him. Ricochet then follows it up with the Spirit Gun and loads Brisco into the stretcher, then closes both doors to win the match. After the match, the sirens go off as the ambulance brings Brisco away from ringside, while Ricochet celebrates to a chorus of boos. The next match happened between the Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, and the result of this match was the Hurt Syndicate won the match when Lashley hits a Spears Rhodes through a barricade on the outside and hugs MJF. He then holds up MJF's hand, but Guevara looks to surprise Lashley by flying through the ring. Benjamin then intercepts him and nails him with a super kick to win the match by pinfall, and retains the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The next match happened between Okada vs Speedball Mike Bailey for the AEW Continental Championship, and the result of this match was Okada won the match when he delivers a kick on Bailey, then lands a second dropkick on him. Bailey looks to fly off the top rope, but Okada sees him coming and delivers a Rainmaker to Bailey to win the match by pinfall, and retain the AEW Continental Championship. The next match happened between Timeless Toni Storm vs Mina Shirakawa for the AEW Women's World Championship. The match starts off with Mina Shirakawa taking the fight to Toni Storm and sending Storm to the mat, but Storm fights back to get to her feet. Storm then charges at Mina, but Mina takes Storm to the canvas. Storm then counters the hold. Mina then fights free and gets a near fall before Storm counters for a 2 count of her own. Mina fights back from the ropes for a DDT and a running kick, followed by a rolling elbow and a leg whip sending the champ down hard to the mat. She's sent to the ropes but catches Toni on the ropes, only for Storm to get an assist from Luther as a shield but to no avail as he's sent to the floor before Mina keeps on the attack. Mina goes up top for a crossbody, but Luther manages to take the attack instead. Mina goes back in the ring as Toni gets on the apron, only to be caught with a leg whip back into the ring by the challenger. Mina goes for a figure 4 leg lock but Toni rolls to the ropes to break the hold. In the end, Toni Storm hits Storm Zero to win the match by pinfall, and retains the AEW Women's World Championship. After the match, Storm and Mina show they still have respect for each other and kiss each other. We then get a graphic confirming Toni Storm defending her title against Mercedes Moné at All In, Texas. Then we saw Anarchy in the Arena match between the Death Riders and the Young Bucks versus the Ops, Kenny Omega, Willow Nightingale, and Swerve Strickland. Everyone then goes after one another and brawls. We see Moxley going after Hobbs, while Joe and Claudio go at it some more. Yuta stops Omega from hitting a dive off the balcony. Both men then continue to go at it, and we see Hobbs coming over. Then he sends Yuta onto the rest of the competitors and some security nearby, and then get a big dive from Omega. Schaffer then locked Willow to the ring post by her ear, and Moxley mocks her while the Bucks send Omega through a table. We see Marina uses the staple gun on Swerve's tongue before Willow intervenes. She is then sent out before Kenny runs in, and Schaffer implores Omega to do it. Then Omega does it and hits a Snapdragon suplex on Schaffer. Claudio then hops onto the apron with a chair, but is pulled down by Hook. He hits Claudio with a golf club, but walks away from the ring, leaving Joe confused. Joe then hits Moxley with a coquina clutch as Omega and Hobbs keep the Bucks away, but Gabe Kidd shows up with the briefcase to break the hold. Kidd then leaves the ring with Yuta, and Claudio brings Joe toward an ambulance. Then Mark Brisco shows up after the stretcher match and gets the drop on the Death Riders. In the end, Omega hits the one-winged angel on Matthew off the entrance ramp and into an exploding table. Strickland then hits the swerve stomp on Nicholas off the top rope to win the match by pinfall. The next match happened between Paragon vs. Don Callis family. The match starts off with Adam Cole and Konosuke Takeshita, and Takeshita sends Cole to the mat. Takeshita then sends Cole to the corner for some hard strikes. Cole then starts to fight back before Takeshita sends him back to the Don Callis family corner for a tag to Josh Alexander. The referee is then distracted, allowing a double team from Alexander and Takeshita before bringing Strong back into the ring, where Fletcher continues the beatdown. Fletcher then stops a Panama Sunrise attempt, and the Don Callis family triple teams Cole for a powerbomb by Takeshita. Fletcher then goes for a cover, but O'Reilly and Strong break up the pin. In the end, O'Reilly nails Fletcher with kicks following a tag, then Fletcher locks in a guillotine and hits a brainbuster to win the match by pinfall. After the match, Paragon looked to beat down the Don Callis family. The Don Callis family then overpowers them, and Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta join in. Tomohiro Ishii, Brody King, and Hiroshi Tanahashi then make their way to the ring to even the odds. The trio clears the heels, and Tanahashi hits Fletcher with a sling blade. Cole then hits Fletcher with the boom. In the main event of the show, we saw an Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament Finals match between Will Osprey vs. Hangman Adam Page. In the end, Osprey blocks, but takes laid out with a lariat and gets up just in time for the Hangman to hit a buckshot lariat that finally connects properly, cover by Page, and it's all over. Hangman Page wins the 2025 Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament. He leaves the ring and walks up the ramp to look at the trophy after a graphic reminds us that Page will face Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship at All in Texas. Page then turns his attention to the ring, walking back down the ramp before standing over Osprey, who gets to his feet. Hangman extended his hand, and Osprey accepts it, and Hangman takes his leave as Page looks at the trophy once more, taking a moment to soak the adulation in as Double or Nothing comes to a close. How much you would rate AEW Double or Nothing 2025? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching.